Good afternoon once again, everyone. We have over 30 participants, and as I speak, the number of participants are just increasing. We'll wait for 2 more minutes. We'll start dot at 3:05. But thank you everyone for taking out time to join this session. As I mentioned in chat, we've just disabled the voice to avoid disturbance while the panelists are presenting. However, we will unmute you guys during the Q&A session towards the end. But in the interim, if you have any question, feel free to post it on Q&A or chat. Our backend team is monitoring all the questions, and the technical team will be more than happy to respond to all your queries. Okay, time to get started. Very warm welcome to everyone who have taken out time this afternoon to join this interesting conversation. Thank you, Viralji, for joining this. We'll be discussing when we talk about SonicWall, right? The first thing comes in the mind is firewall. But let me tell you, SonicWall has gone far beyond the firewall. Today, Mr. Viral Lad would take us through the very interesting topic on Cloud Secure Edge powered by SonicWall. So we'll just get going. The agenda is very quick and crisp, right? I'll just welcome all of you guys. Then we'll introduce Viral, who would then take us to the presentation as what SonicWall is all about when it goes beyond the firewall, and we'll mostly focus on the CAC. And towards the end, please keep in mind towards the end we have a quick quiz where everyone wins, stands a chance to win exciting prizes. So be till the end. I'm Bhavesh Chauhan. I work as a director at VersaTech Global. I've been with this organization for close to 2 years, and I've got over 20 years of experience in technology. About VersaTech Global, right? We are serving customers pan India. Our physical presence are there in 8 locations. We've been in this business for over 30 years. Over 1,000 projects have been delivered, and all the other numbers are there on the slide. Uh, what we do, in a nutshell, we provide end-to-end cybersecurity. We are cybersecurity first organization, be it network solutions, endpoint security management, application security, or cloud security for that matter. So all cybersecurity services, including data management and data backup, DCDR setup, we are more than happy to help organization. In today's scenario, each organization needs help, right? The threat landscape has been evolving ever faster ever than before, right? Constantly new cyber threats, and sophisticated attacks uh, keeps evolving. The regulatory compliance, right? Navigating to the complex, stringent regulatory requirements is a need of an hour for any organization nowadays, right? Data protection, DPDP, everyone is talking about DPDP, right? Data protection, privacy laws. And to be very honest, the team, this resources, the IT resources, there is always constraint on the number of resources that any organization can probably hire. And that is where, we come into the picture. We act as your extended technology team and support organization to meet their technology goals, right? Incident response and recovery. Currently, each organization like we have a fire alarm, right? Similar setup needs to be there when the incident happens. Like what to do when we find out that some incident has happened. So there are a lot of stories around that as well. Without wasting everyone's time, let me introduce Mr. Viral Lad, who is a senior solution engineer at SonicWall. Very dynamic and proactive professional. Again, close to like over 16 years of technology experience, and been with SonicWall for quite a long time. Viral bhai, over to you. If you can share your screen and take everyone to the understanding of cloud secure edge.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks, Bhaveji, for a warm introduction and a brief about VersaTech, what VersaTech is up to, and how they are helping the prospects and the partners and the partner community. So, yes, very well said, very well introduced, very well start to the session. So, whenever you heard SonicWall, the first thing that comes into mind is firewall, but we have reached far ahead from firewall. Firewall stays our bread and butter, but then we have ensured that we diversify our products and solution in such a way that we will still survive for another 30-35 years. Okay, so that is the vision that SonicWall is carrying. And if you see our journey, we are a 35-year-old organization. We have evaluated from
Viral bhai,
firewall.
I don't think we are able to see your screen.
Yeah, I have not shared it yet. I will
Oh, okay,
share
okay,
it.
okay.
So keeping in mind that journey right from firewall, so now we have everything right from endpoint security till cloud security. Okay. So today's session, we will be focusing on the recent acquisition that we have done in the end of 2023, which was Banyan Security, and that specializes in ZTNA solution, which is nothing but a security service edge solution. Okay. So before I talk more on it, let me share my mm, slide deck. Okay. One second. Where is my screen? Okay. So just confirm if you are able to see my screen. Yes. For me, it is visible.
Yes, we can see that, Viral bhai.
Okay. Great. So this will be a very small session where we will be dedicatedly talking on our cloud secure edge, which was renamed earlier. Former name was Banyan Security Solution. So that is being renamed to Cloud Secure Edge. Okay. Now this solution specializes in displacing your SSL VPN, IPsec VPN, client to site, right? Open VPN if your customers are using. And it completely adheres to a ZTNA framework. Okay. So now how we have stitched this particular solution into the SonicWall product portfolio, and how you can leverage this particular product or a solution and do some upselling, cross-selling in the market. So that's why we have arranged this particular session along with the VersaTech team. Okay. So let's go step by step. At any point of time, you have any queries, please put it into the Q&A section. And towards the end of a session, we have a Q&A round as well. Okay. So park your questions till then. It might happen that whatever query you are having, can be a part of the presentation. Okay, so please wait till the presentation completes. And mind you, this is not a very long presentation. Hardly 15 to 19 slides are there. Okay, so we will quickly go through it. Having said that, let me move on. All right. So here, if you see why this as uh, VersaTech is providing end-to-end solutions, why they have started giving end-to-end solutions, right? Because there is a change, there is a 360-degree shift into how the organizations are working, right? Earlier, it was very simple. People will come to office, they will access the resources, and they will go. So it was very easy to secure all the corporate resources, the servers, with the help of a firewall and web related solutions. If you are hosting a website as well, right? Everything was within the perimeter, nothing was outside the perimeter. And for your remote offices, you were creating site to site tunnels. But nowadays, you need to ensure that you are not only securing your perimeter, but the user also, because user has moved out of the perimeter. User is working from anywhere, right? I should say not only home, but he is literally working from anywhere. He just needs an internet connection to ensure that he is productive for his organization, right? So that is what we are trying to say on this particular slide, that there is a 360-degree change in how the organizations are working. So likewise, the cybersecurity solution should also change, and we need to ensure we are securing the identity. So some statistics, some facts, if you see security by numbers, right? So 48,000 plus vulnerabilities were identified and published in 2025 alone, which is a record-breaking number. Okay, and this were published by Logically. Okay, this was the figure that we have taken from Logically, likewise from SentinelOne, Verizon, and InsurTech. So what all these numbers are telling us, right? 70% of ransomware attacks are targeting SMBs. So gone are the days where people or used to target only enterprises and very large enterprises. No, they are targeting any organization which is holding a very useful data, right? 61% of breaches were involved only related to compromised credentials. So nowadays, hackers are also become smart. They are not uh, they are not hacking into anything. They are simply stealing the credentials, and they are making a legitimate login entry. So that cannot be detected or stopped by any security solution because it is a valid login entry, right? So we need to ensure that whatever credentials someone is trying to come with, there should be some more parameters before we give them the access, like 2FA, or maybe we are doing a geo location check as well to it, correct? 58% of ransomware attacks starts with compromised perimeter devices like VPNs. Okay, and here they have mentioned VPNs, but there are many other devices, IoTs, CCTVs, which are present in the network, which hackers are targeting. And with the help of that, they are trying to penetrate laterally into the LAN network, right? So these are the things that we need to keep in mind before we take a call into anything. Okay. So having said that, let's move on to the next slide. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So now what we are trying to inform everyone, our customers, our prospects, our partners, right? That SSL VPN was so far the cheapest mean, the secure means to connect with the corporate resources whenever the user was outside. But lately, you might have seen that this particular SSL VPN technology has become outdated and become very much vulnerable. And this is not only SonicWall's story. This is every OEM who is providing SSL VPN functionality. They are also fighting the same battle. Okay. So here the stack, the VPN, SSL VPN solution stack itself has become vulnerable. So in order to move away from this particular thing, there has to be a different technology which should come in, right? So that other technology is nothing but Cloud Secure Edge solution from SonicWall, which is using WireGuard VPN technology, which is completely different from SSL VPN, and it follows the ZTNA framework. Okay, so how it follows? Let's look into it step by step. Now, before I go into the Cloud Secure Edge solution, I would like to give a small analogy between SSL VPN solution and the nowadays ZTNA solution or SSE solutions that people are talking about. So SSL VPN solution, you can think of it as a house with having a lock only on the front door. Okay. So let's say if there is any intruder who is trying to barge into this particular house, right? So the only thing that he needs to do is break the lock on the main door. And if this lock is broken, he will have access to everything: hall, dining room, bedroom, kitchen, storage, right? Whatever is there in the house will become accessible to this particular intruder. So this is nothing but SSL VPN. The user is outside and the corporate resources are behind or inside this particular corporate zone, right? So the moment any intruder with the help of SSL VPN is able to log in into your SSL VPN connectivity, so he will similarly have access to all the files, servers, materials that are stored over there, right? So this is very bad. This is a very bad design, right? So in order to move away from this design, what you can do is you consider the latest technology, which is Cloud Secure Edge, and we can compare it with a hotel, right? So in a hotel, there are multiple rooms, but any guest is not allowed to go to any other room. He can just go visit and stay in the room allotted to him or her, right? So this is nothing but very least privilege access, which is given to a particular user if he tries to come log in via the ZTNA solution, right? So this is much more secure. So in other words, you can say there is a lock on every door, right? So even if the user wants to roam, he can just roam into the common areas which the hotel allows the guests to move into, like cafeteria, like the library section, like the reception, right? But they cannot loiter into the control room of that particular hotel, into the kitchen area of that particular hotel, or into the VIP lounges that are available in the hotels, right? So this is a very nice analogy that I personally like about that. Okay, how SSL VPN and ZTNA solutions are compared nowadays. So here you get more security towards whatever resources you are housing behind your corporate firewalls. Let it be on cloud, let it be on your on premises, right? So here what we are doing is we are not trusting anyone. We are ensuring that the damage that will happen only to that particular room, but not to the entire hotel, right? So we are limiting the damage. We are doing a damage control, in other words, and then we are protecting the resources, which is very crucial, which is very sensitive for this organization, right? So now talking about my Cloud Secure Edge solution. So like any other ZTNA solution, we are also giving you private access and internet access. Private access is nothing but whenever a user is outside and he wants to access the FTP server or Salesforce or CRM or any other tools which is essential so that he can complete his or her work, are behind the firewall. It can be on premise, it can be on cloud. So this is nothing but traffic is flowing from outside world, crossing the firewall, and then going towards your applications or server. So this is called as a private access. So within private access, we are giving you two functionalities, which is VPN as a service and ZTNA. So in ZTNA, as we all know, ZTNA framework considers three things. They will check user identity, they will check device identity, and they will check the geolocation of this user. And if all these three parameters are true, they will give access to the server on a least privilege basis. So for example, on a server, there are, let's say 20 virtual machines which are running, and there are maybe more than 50 applications which are available. So this user, depending on his role in the organization, will get access only to 3 or 5 applications which is required as per his role in the organization. He will not get a blanket access to the entire server and all the virtual machines which are running on that particular server, as in case of a SSL VPN. So this is the major difference. Now in SonicWall Cloud Secure Edge, how differently we are ensuring that we are preventing the modern day threats like compromised credentials and account takeover and all those things, right? So what we do, when we do a user authentication, there will be one ID which will be generated, user identification ID, and there will be one ID generated for device identification. Okay. So with the merging these two IDs, we are creating a fingerprint. So this fingerprint is a unique fingerprint. So user and a device, both identities are merged and a fingerprint is created, and all the access is granted to this fingerprint. So let's say tomorrow Viral comes into the office, but he is trying to log in not from the laptop which is allotted to him by SonicWall, but he tries to log in from his colleague's laptop. So now user identity ID will be same, but the device identity ID will change. And the fingerprint which will be generated will be a different fingerprint. So whenever this solution will check, so it will not find this new fingerprint in his policy list, right? So as per the policy, the access will be denied. Though I am the same SonicWall user, though this asset belongs to the SonicWall only, but that is not allotted to Viral. So that's the reason this solution will not allow Viral to log in from his colleague's laptop. Okay, so this is how we are preventing the account takeover, credentials compromise, the modern threats or modern attacks which are happening nowadays, right? So even if someone steals your laptop, and in that case, the user will change, right? Let's say the user is trying to put in with his ID on your laptop. Again, the fingerprint will change and again the access will not be granted to them. Okay. And our solution, Cloud Secure Edge, is completely user-based licenses are available. So it has nothing to do with the devices. So one user can come with a one device or one user can come with the 10 devices. The only thing that you will have to configure on the policy section is that user one is allowed to access the resources using how many devices and what is the nature of that particular device is. Is it a laptop? Is it a tablet? Is it an iPhone? And if it is this particular make and model, what is the serial number of it? Okay. So this device identification will be tallied when he or she is trying to access the resource. If it matches with the fingerprint, only then they will be in a position to get the access, right? So this is how we are ensuring that modern day threats or attacks are kept away from your users when they are outside the perimeter. Okay. So ZTNA also explained. So likewise, internet access. Let's say now this user has nothing to do with your CRM or your SFDC, right? But this user is now browsing only internet, right? So if you have taken our internet access licenses, so then we will provide you with something called as a secure web gateway, which is nothing but a cloud proxy and CASB solution. So whenever your user is interacting with any SaaS-based applications, homegrown SaaS-based apps, or well-known SaaS-based applications like Salesforce, Workday, SharePoint, Office 365. So here we will be in a position to understand what kind of upload and download the user is doing with the help of a CASB functionality, right? So here, and with the help of SWIG, Secure Web Gateway, we will ensure that user does a very secure browsing on the internet. If he or she accidentally lands on a website which is listed in a bad reputation list or in a bad IP domain category. So in that particular case, user will get a message saying this particular website is found to be on a bad IP reputation list. Hence, as per the organization policies, you will not be able to access it. But if you see there is some discrepancy, please connect with your admin to resolve this issue further. So that will be the message which will be showcased to that particular user, thereby ensuring that he or she is doing a very secure and safe internet browser. Okay. And both these licenses can be purchased independently. Let's say you want only 30 private access licenses and you don't want internet access licenses. That is also possible. If you want only 5 licenses for private and 15 licenses for internet access, that is also possible. If you want 50 licenses for both of them, that is also possible. Okay. But here the licenses cannot be shared. Okay. So here one user means one license. Okay. And let's say that user leaves the organization. So you can revoke the license from that user who has exited the organization, and you can align it to the new employee who has joined the organization. And let's say the employee will join after 15 days. So you can park that license into the CSE solution for 15 days. Once he or she joins, you can then allot that license to that particular user. Okay. So that is how our CSC offering is: private access, internet access. And I will shortly talk about the features and the licensing also in the upcoming slides. Now, let me show you the architecture, right? So what are the components? So there are three components. One will be the agent. And if you want agentless, that is also possible. And we are supporting all the OS: Windows, Linux, Macs, even tablets and Chromebooks. Okay. So that is not an issue for us. And then your resources can also be anywhere. It can be on cloud, it can be on premises. So in order to onboard your resources into my cloud and command center, which is nothing but where your all policies will be written, right? And this is the place on cloud where you will inform Cloud Secure Edge that, okay, I have my servers on premise and I have my couple of SaaS based applications on cloud. Okay, so that entry will be done over here. And then again, cloud and command center will be integrated with any IDP based solution. Okay, authentication providers, right? And if they don't, your prospect doesn't have any IDP provider which works on SAML, so they need to have Active Directory. Active Directory can be anywhere. It can be on premise or on cloud, or it can be Azure AD also. So we are supporting all of them. So two things very mandatory: onboarding of resources on my command and control center, and integrating the IDP or Active Directory so that my solution understands that who are the users and where are the resources. And once you write down the policies, it becomes very simple. Okay. We will do a user identification. We will do a device posture check. We will do a GeoIP check. And then accordingly, we will grant access. So let's see it in action. So here the resource onboarding is done. Next, I have also integrated the users using SAML. Okay. I'll just take one step back. So users are integrated with the help of a IDP provider into my solution. Now, before granting access, so this is my solution has understood the device health from which the user is demanding access is high. If this device posture is low or medium, so in that case, we will not grant access to the resources, because there is a possibility that user has tweaked something, or there is a possibility that on the user's machine, there is some infection which has found out. Okay, that's why the device posture check is low or medium. I will give you an example. Let's say when user was trying to connect with SFDC, So everything was fine. But after half an hour, he has now connected a USB drive. Now this USB drive is infected. So now what we will do, this solution, Cloud Secure Edge, it will do a continuous check that what a user is doing, whether the geolocation has changed or not, whether a user has plugged in anything into his machine or not, right? So because of this continuous check, I understood that a device was connected into it. Okay. And then that device is infected. So overall, his device posture check has fallen to low. And see, my solution has disconnected the access automatically without any human intervention. Okay, so that is the beauty of this particular solution. And a message will be shown to the end user. And then the admin can also check the logs that why this connection was revoked and what is the problem over there. And once that problem is fixed by the admin and the user can again enjoy the access to the server or SFDC, whatever he or she was trying to do. Okay, so that is how this particular solution works. Okay. And then lastly, yes, maybe in a very theoretical manner, that was like from the architecture level, three components: agent, command and control center. And this is nothing but a software. Okay, this is nothing but a software that will read the policies written over here and accordingly will grant access. You cannot see, you cannot feel and touch. Yes, you can see this particular agent, you can see for this particular portal, but this is completely inbuilt. This is just to explain how this particular solution works. Okay, moving ahead. So now if I want to explain it in other words, okay, giving you the jargons and everything, right? So what we have done, we have created this slide. So user is at the center. Now user may need access to the corporate resources, which can be on premise or which can be on cloud. So these are the examples. These are the examples. So in that case, you have to sell secure private access. And in secure private access, we will help you with all possible things over here. Okay, now let's say your prospect doesn't want to access any private resources. And the user is simply browsing internet and accessing certain SaaS-based applications. So in that case, if he is doing internet access, so we will help them with all these particular things, right? Like DNS layer security blocks, risk-based URL blocking, reputation-based URL blocking, more than 50 categories in which we can identify the URLs can be classified. And then we will give you 12 months of log retention for compliance purpose on the solution itself. But if you want more than 12 months, you can integrate this solution with any of the SIM and a source solution. And this solution will send the syslog or send the alerts, notification and logs to that SIM or a source solution. Okay. So that is how in we have tried to explain that which license bundle should be procured in which case, right? So anything private, SPA, anything not related to corporate resources, only internet and only SaaS-based applications on cloud. So in that case, internet access. We have named the license bundles also in that fashion so that it doesn't create any confusion, right? And this is a very nice slide where we have tried to explain with the help of a use case. So here, Jane is an employee of ABC Manufacturing, while John Smith is a third-party vendor. So Jane, because she is an employee, whenever she is outside of the company, she will need access to the corporate resources also, and she will be browsing internet also. So the organization is worried about providing secure internet access to her, as well as whenever she is trying to access private resources, the organization wants to ensure it is Jane who is accessing the resources, and at the same time, she has been allotted least privileges on the servers or files that she is demanding access to, right? So for that we need to sell SPA and SIA, right? So if you see the SPA, so she is trying to access application server, okay? And then if you see when she is not accessing the application server, she is trying to access internet. So from internet, we are providing all these features and functionalities, right? And if you see, the traffic will be processed via Cloud Secure Edge. So my solution is in between your users and your corporate resources, and because of which I can manage, monitor, restrict, allow, deny things as per the organization's requirement. Okay. And likewise, now if I talk about a third party contractor, so third party contractor, we usually give them view only access to certain internal data like Excel sheets for bill creation and all those stuff, right? So if you follow this dotted line, so the license bundle that will be required over here will be private access because we are granting them access to internal resources. So if you see this dotted line, he is trying to access certain devices and the camera system. Maybe they have offloaded the camera control to this particular contractor, right? So only access is granted to these two units, nothing else, right? So user John will not be able to understand that within ABC manufacturing, what kind of servers are available apart from my equipments and my camera. So this is how we are giving segregation, privacy, and security to your resources as well as your users and your third-party contractors. Okay. And last but not the least, the breakup of license bundles, right? So SPA, secure private access, you will see ZTNA will come in advanced bundle. Okay. And if you see SIA advanced, so all those things that I was talking about, like risk-based filtering, reputation-based filtering, advanced DNS filtering will malware protection, which is recently added, CASB related functionalities will all be present in advanced solution. Okay. So basic, if someone is interested in purchasing, you can showcase them that you will get only this functionalities. If you want to try with that and then move to basic to advanced, that is also possible. Okay. But if you ask me, we always recommend that you go for an advanced license bundle for both the cases. Okay. But yes, there might be 1 in 1,000 case that they don't want advanced licenses. They are a very limited user organization and they want a very specific protection and they want only these features. So in that case, you can sell the basic licenses as well. Okay. One more thing which is not mentioned on the slide, this solution is available in CapEx as well as OpEx model. So monthly billing can also be done with this particular solution. So your prospect is not sure that, okay, I am having only 20 users, but I want security for this 20 users for only 3 months, because after 3 months, the project will be completed and I don't know after how much time the next project will come. So you can explain them that, sir, why don't you take it 20 licenses on a billing model, and then whenever your project is over, you can stop the billing, right? And whenever you get a new project, you can immediately inform us that 20 licenses you can start with, or maybe you can reduce or increase the licenses as per the new project and start the billing once again. Okay, so that much simple it is. And coming or talking about the deployment is very simple. Okay, because it is a cloud native solutions. If you have your IDP related information in place, and if you know all your resources, your cloud resources as well as your on-premise resources, so you can complete the entire deployment within 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, that much simple this particular solution is, right? Because it's completely on cloud and the licenses also are very easy to register and subscribe. So you can get running not within days, but in hours. Okay. So we highly encourage that if you come across any requirement where people are still using SSL VPN, Open VPN, this is a great opportunity to go and talk about a CSE solution which uses the latest WireGuard VPN technology. Okay. So now certain reasons that why SonicWall Cloud Secure Edge. So as you can see, first of all, private as well as internet access, you will be in a position to see on the single platform. Okay. And secondly, SonicWall firewall is already stitched with CSE solution. So if you are selling a CSE to an existing SonicWall customer, so the deployment stages will again reduce from 5 to 3 because SonicWall already comes with a functionality that CSE comes with, right? So that stitching we have already done. So again, we will reduce your deployment or implementation time by half, right? So again, you can get started in no time for this particular solution. And again, if your customer is not using SonicWall Firewall, that is fine. No worries. We are interoperable with any other firewall which is available in the market. Okay. So we have no dependency. We have zero dependency on the firewalls that are in use in your customer's organization. Okay. And there are advantages related to consolidated licensing. SonicWall is known for low TCO so that everything falls in place. And yeah, I think yeah, attack surface is eliminated. Remember, when we started the session, I was talking about SSL VPN. The stack itself has become vulnerable. So whatever patching you do on that SSL VPN stack, your customer will still remain vulnerable. But if you displace your SSL VPN stack with a CSE solution, you have completely eliminated that particular attack surface. And now you are very close to your user and you are very close to your resources, and everything in between is nothing but connectivity. Okay, so that is how the modern day security should look like. Okay. Nevertheless, as we are giving you 12 months of log retention and visibility, this will help you ensure you are compliant with multiple auditors and multiple reports which are required in today's world to ensure that yes, this organization is compliant for the remote users with a zero trust solution, right? And few third-party validations that we have received for Cloud Secure Edge to start with is Gartner. So SonicWall was not present in the Gartner SASE quadrant until 2025. Okay. After acquiring Banyan Security and after enhancing that particular solution and stitching it with the SonicWall firewall and product portfolio, we were now proudly a part of a Gartner Magic Quadrant for SASE. Okay, so we have made our mark only within 1 year of acquisition. And mind me, there are very nice features which are coming up in the new versions, and we are releasing small features almost every month. Okay, and because it's a cloud native product, the pushing of new features is fairly simple. Okay, and we are also going to introduce DLP in this particular solution. So some beta testing is going on. Once that is completed, so your customers can enjoy DLP functionalities as well with CSE. Okay, but that is in our pipeline, or you can say in roadmap. Another third-party validation is a Forrester Wave report. Again, you can see SonicWall is present in this SASE report published by Forrester. And last but not the least, GigaOM report. So this is nothing but a bullseye. The more you are closer to the bullseye, the more robust is your solution. So we are somewhere over here in the second circle, and we will try to move towards the bullseye by adding and enhancing the current functions and features. Okay. So that is what from my side. If you have any questions, queries, feel free to ask. And if you have any inquiries, you want that, okay, SonicWall team or VersaTech team should do a tailored cloud secure edge session for your prospects, we will be glad to come on that call and explain it to your prospects. Okay, so we are with you. You just help us with the inquiries or leads. And if we qualify, we will also help you with the POCs, trials, everything. Yeah. So that is it from my side. Bhaveshi, you are there?
Perfect. Thank you, Viral. So I hope the session was eye-opening. So like before we close, right? The one key takeaway if I take from this session would be the firewall is not going anywhere, right? It is there, but clearly the firewall alone is no longer enough. Users are working from coffee shops, from airports, home, hotels, basically everywhere except where the IT team would ideally like them to be, right? And applications data would actually follow the same trend. And that is where the technologies like CSE, Cloud Secure Edge, and Zero Trust become increasingly important. So if today's session has made you think maybe our current remote access and security architecture needs a rethink, then I think Viral bhai, we've achieved our objective. Well, very big thank you to you, Virabhai, for sharing detailed insights and giving everyone a look at how SonicWall is going beyond the firewall. So before we conclude